idea. Okay. Sorry, y'all. I have no idea. I'm not even really sure that that worked or not. But happy Sunday. How is everybody doing? I see that we've got some fun people here. For everybody that is on my app, don't bother commenting unless you want to in the chat box. It looks like it's just kicking you straight out of it, and then you have to get back in because Christina's been here for a few minutes. So thanks for being patient. I'm also live on YouTube right now. I don't know if it's being aired or not. It's can you see if it's live at all around my name? Because I couldn't do it. Ah, so it is. Excellent. Okay. Fun, fun. So if you'd like to kind of scoot over and use the YouTube, feel free to do that if we lose anybody. But with that all being said, let's get started in our movement journey. So, alrighty, let's get comfortable seat onto the mat and kind of into a grounding position. So if you have 2 blocks, please feel free to grab 2 blocks. Other than that, you don't really need anything for your practice except yourself and your practice space. And let's just come into a centering moment here. Whether we are in an easy Sukhasana sit, cross-legged sit, or you are sitting on top of your shin bones, just start to gaze down the bridge of your nose. Close down your external gaze. Start to tap into your breath. Pulling the awareness in through the nose and out through the nose, creating that thickening quality along the back of your throat. Coming together as a collective consciousness spanning all over the world. It's so special to be able to share these Sunday flow practices with you all. I hope that you can feel while you are either practicing with yourself or a friend at home, almost the interconnectedness. This morning's flow is a feel-good flow. Be prepared for some standing balancing, some open hip and closed hip variations of things, but more so hoping to create a vessel for yourself to become curious about your movement patterns. So each shape, each posture, there's not an exact right way or wrong way to do things. It's about your own conversation with your body. And more so, I should say, your body's conversation with self. So keeping all of that in mind, exhale the breath out of the system. Draw an inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Subtle pause. Exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. Take an inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. Exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. Inhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. Exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. Take 3 more rounds on your own, drawing the breath evenly in through the nose and out through the mouth, having the subtle pauses in between. An even idea of the breath, of pulling the breath in, thinking about how quickly you start the inhale or how quickly you start the exhale, and can we make that breath even from start to finish? Same effort and ease applies. Taking one more breath here together. When you're ready, roll over your shin bones. Place your hands down onto the mat. Tabletop pose, knees underneath the hips, and just gently start to take your fingertips out towards the right, towards the left, and shift the weight towards the right and the left, just waking up through the wrists and the hands. And spinning your fingertips in the direction of your knees, palms face down, shifting back and forth, maybe forward and backwards. Come forward with the hands. And now squeegee your finger pads in towards one another, so you're kind of tenting your fingertips like mountain peaks onto the right side. Then slowly release that, splat the hand onto the floor, and then squeegee and peel the left hand up. Splat it down. And go back and forth towards the right and towards the left in this fashion. If you'd like to kind of level it up a little bit, you can pick up both hands and then splat both hands. Moving a little bit quicker, squeegee pulling in, letting down and releasing, squeegee pulling in, letting down and releasing. If you want to turn it up even more, you can come into more of a supported side or a plank pose. But if you notice you're getting a little bit of turbulence with the body, go ahead and just take your knees back. This is again more about the hands and heating up the hands, and we'll take 4 more. 3, 2, and 1. Perfect. Back to our tabletop pose. Knees walk underneath the hips. Drop the saddle of the back. Inhale, pull the heart forward in space. Exhale, dome and round. Feel the space between your collarbones expand. And then start to pull this breath back and forth evenly as you start to connect your breath to your movements. Great. Come back to a neutral tabletop pose. Tuck your toes. Glide your sit bones up and back to our first downward facing dog, and just start to pedal it out right away. Notice any kind of sensation. Wiggling the heels up and over towards the right and towards the left. Breathing in through the side body with this moment of curiosity, of introspection about how does your body move in space and what does it necessarily need right now. Ripple forward all the way into a plank pose. Lower your knees into a tabletop. Shift the weight into the left shin bone and then peel your right leg up and away from your system. Flex your right foot a lot. Dial your right knee towards the back of the mat and turn your inner thigh up so you're squaring your hips towards the floor. Stomp the foot of the right foot up towards the sky and then pull your heart forward. So think cow spine. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And then big exhale, dome and round. Knee to nose, push, 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 cat spine. 2 of these. Open it out. Reach your heel. And then close it off. Push your hands. Inhale, reach your heel. Exhale, push your hands. Keep the push of your hands. Slide your right knee in front of your left, little crisscross with the legs. Kind of get a little bit bound up into a sticky spot because it's kind of tight in there. Extend the left leg long behind you. Tuck left knee behind the right and then long behind you. Left knee tucks behind the right, crisscross, and then long behind you. Keep a strong, strong leg into the left. Tuck your right toes. Glide it back, 3-legged downward facing dog. Open up through the hip. Breathe through the left side body. Maybe taking a few circles with the left arm, or left leg, pardon me. Peel the right heel away. Pull left foot forward, left foot, left pinky. Lizard lunge. Scoot your right hip back in space. And your right toes. Drop your heart. Take an inhale, heart forward. Exhale, glide, straightening effect into both legs, like into some sort of variation of high stance pyramid pose. I like to play with lifting my feet up and my heels up. kind of swerving around, especially in the beginning of practice. Rebend into both knees, right knee down towards the ground. Big backstroke with the left hand. Grab onto your back foot and just breathe in through your right hip crease. Place a bend into your supporting arm. Broaden through the collarbones, deepen the breath. Gently release the right toes. Left hand finds the ground. Glide it all the way up and back, downward facing dog. Ripple yourself forward into a plank pose. Gentle pause and hold. Reach the crown of the head towards the top of the mat, so we're kind of bouncing off of our toes for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, bend and extends of the elbows. The knees can be up or down, so we go down and lift for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Plank pose, lower your knees. Walk yourself back so you're in your tabletop pose. Switching sides, send the left leg out towards the side. Flex your toes and squeeze through your left hip. Can you press down evenly through both hands like you're holding up a wall? And now turn to the instep of your left thigh so the sole of the foot is facing the sky. Take an inhale, drop the saddle of the back, kind of reach your toes towards your crown of your head. Find an exhale, dome and round. Push and lean the weight a little bit more forward. Return back, cow pose. Press through the bottom of the foot. Pull your heart forward in space. Exhale, press down and round. One more. Pull, lift up, squeeze the left glute. Like the back of your head can go towards your left heel. And then exhale, dome, 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 dome. And squeegee your left foot. Left knee, crisscrosses on top of your right. Extend your right leg out, squeeze. Tuck it back behind, press it up into your left. Send it behind, squeeze right glute, and then tuck it behind. Final one, squeeze, keep it lifted. Tuck your left toes all the way up. Open up through your hip. Look underneath your right shoulder. You can take a couple of circles here. Lift the height of the left toes, that's the grounded foot. Bend the knee. Big step, right foot, right pinky. Pop up onto fingertips. Pull heart forward in space. Sink the hips low. Glide it all the way up. Extend both legs somewhat straight and play with the height and the lowering of any toe or swiveling in through the hips. A curiosity into the breath. Plant the right toe, lower the left knee. Windmill your right arm all the way up and around and grab onto your back foot. Sending breath in through your left hip crease. Release your left toes, windmill your right hand down. Press all the way up and back, downward facing dog. Ripple ourselves forward, plank pose. Lower down to a chaturanga bent arm position, power push all the way up to plank. Lower the knees and the forearms, kind of press back into a child's pose. Keep your heart looking forward in space and then widen your hands as wide as your mat. So gazing at the top of the mat. With not a lot of effort and more mobility, just glide across the top of the mat, lowering onto our belly. Hands will be planted by our low ribs, and then maybe even slide them back a little bit more. Squeeze through the scapulas and the back of the heart to lift the front of the heart from the floor. Fingernails pressing through the floor. Make fists with your hands and then kick them towards the space behind you and reach and turn onto your triceps. Reach your right hand towards your right heel and then the left hand towards your left heel, kind of like you're a little turtle swimming through water. 4, 3, 2, 1. Tent your fingertips like mountain peaks wider than your mat. Tops of the feet press. Lift tight in your quads and peel your sternum away from the floor. And then just pull yourself back down. Move through a couple of these, kind of feeling different kinds of movements through this funky Cobra pattern. The next time you lower all the way down towards the ground, stay there. Slide your hands at your low ribs yet again. Press the tops of the feet and you can arrive in a cobra or an upward facing dog, whatever is cruisy to you today. Press all the way up and back. Downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg up. Big circle of the right foot, so reach it all the way out. Make this expansive to the right foot, to the right pinky. Bend deep into the right knee, and then lift the left leg straight up, and then make a big circle with the left foot, all the way left foot, left pinky. Sit low, reach forward, active squat. Sit a little bit lower, and then press down through your heels and slide your heels out in a way so you can feel something happening along your sit bones. A broadness, a fullness. Reach through your legs, rise all the way up to a stand. Inhale, circle, sweep the arms up. Exhale all the way down towards the ground. Bend in through the knees. Place your hands down to the floor. Lean the weight forward in space and rise to your heel or your toes. So lift your heels away from the floor. Bend both knees and elbows. Maybe the backs of the knees slide down the triceps and you go back to a chaturanga. Press back up to a plank. Lower knees and to the child's pose variation again, and then take your hands to the sides of the mat. Pull forward directly into some variation of an up dog or a cobra. Press back, downward facing dog. Let's take those big motions yet again. So we'll send the left leg up towards the ceiling, and then big circle. Really just kind of feel the articulations that's happening in through your hip, left foot, left pinky. This is where it gets a little bit sticky. We're looking for congestion. Lift the right leg up. Big circle, big circle, big circle, big circle. Lower right foot, right pinky. Active squat. Reach arms forward in space. Feel the comfort of having both feet onto the floor. Can you settle your torso back in space and then drive down more weight through your heels and slide it out and away? Rise all the way up. Inhale, circle, sweep. Exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, halfway lift. We're changing it up here. Exhale, weight through the palms. Peel the heels away. Shift the weight so the left leg can peel up and away and firm through the outer part of your hip. And if this feels like a cluster, shenanigans, explosion of fireworks, yes, I know. Lower. Lower all the way back down, active squat. Hands reach forward in space. Take a big inhale. Exhale, hands back down towards the floor. Pick up through the heels. Press and send your right leg out and away from self and hold here for 3, 2, 1. Active squat, arms reach forward in space. Take a big inhale. Exhale, hands plant. Slide your knees along your tricep. Go through a full push-up. Press back into the child's pose. Reach arms forward in space. Take a big inhale. Widen the hands. Space to pull yourself through. Upward facing dog to downward facing dog. Beautiful drop. Inhale to the height of the toes. Somehow, right foot comes up to the right thumb. Maybe you hop forward. Left toes stay to the back of the mat. Rise into a crescent lunge. Feel the weights kind of going down through your legs. Open out to goddess pose to the side of the mat. So both knees are going out in opposite directions, and just kind of feel what it feels like to kind of get in through your hips. So kind of sink your sit bones low. Notice the depth and the awareness. Start to press down more through the heel of your foot. Now we'll just drop this right knee down And then I just want you to think about leaning forward in through the left knee. Come back into like a 90-90, so pull your hips back. We'll return back to goddess pose. So drive down through your left heel, the back heel, or whatever, the front now. And then just try to keep it low and open up to goddess. Sink down. Take your hands to the back of your thighs like you're sliding your hands into a pocket. And then press your knees into your hands just a little bit. Now turn the left knee down in space, lower it, and start to drive the hips forward. Squeeze the back glute. Breathe. Press down through the front heel, the right heel. Keep the sit bones low, open into goddess. Let's thread through this 3 times, going to the left and to the right. Try to drive the sit bones low, drive the right knee down, push it forward, pull it back, 90-90, keep it low, press the knees out, left knee drops, pull it forward, 90-90, sit bones low, goddess pose. Drop right knee, press it forward. Pull it back, 90-90, goddess pose. I know it's starting to talk. Drop left knee, pull it forward. Goddess pose, keep the depth, keep it burning. Right knee down. Final time this way, glide it forward. 90-90, open it up, keep it low. Left knee down, drive it forward. Goddess pose. Open out, star pose, arms circle sweep up. And exhale, palms down towards the ground, heels in, heels out, toes in. Walk your hands in front of your shoulders and lower the left shin bone down towards the ground. Tense your fingertips, pull your heart forward in space. Lean the weight and lift your right leg up any degree. Firm, firm, firm. Hold here. Bend your right knee tucks behind the left, that little crisscross, and then walk yourself up and rise your shoulders on top of your hips. Squeeze and find probably some sensation happening in through the right hip. That's okay. If you want to have your blocks right here for stability, that can be very helpful. Squeeze to the midline, squeeze to the inner thighs, and then pull your right hip forward in space. Without thinking about it too much, return, but see if we can find a floatness back to starting position. Lean forward, hands down the ground, kick the right leg out in space. Lower it down. Pull heart forward. And then exhale, press so much through your hands into your foot that the left leg can kick out and away, and maybe it hovers before you place it down. Straddle, fold. Just allow everything to go. If that's kind of moving towards the right and towards the left, we got right into the business today. Come back in towards center if you are moving from side to side. Lean forward, right shin bone comes down. Tense fingertips. Lift left leg. Firm, 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 firm. Reach the pinky toe up towards the sky. Hold. Slide your left leg behind the right. Walk yourself back, and it can be very nice to take the block with you. Squeeze, lengthen the pelvis. Kind of find any kind of stretch. You can also create more of a lengthening here. Always become curious in the body for the movement patterns because they change from side to side. Hands find the ground. Kick the left leg out. Place the left foot. Take an inhale, pull the heart forward. We'll kick the right leg out towards the top of the mat now. Take an inhale, exhale, kick, maybe it hovers, and lower. Spin all the way to the top of the mat. High stance pyramid pose. Peel your heel away from the floor. You may like your blocks to frame your front foot. We'll just do one pyramid plug and we'll slide it back to downward facing dog. Take an inhale here. Exhale, push dome and round. Hover your right leg straight-ish. Slide it back to a downward facing dog. Remove yourself from your blocks if you had your blocks underneath your hands. Ripple yourself forward, plank pose. A full bend and extend of the elbows. Get that full push up, knees down or up. Lower the knees. Stretch the arms towards the top of the mat. Widen them, look forward. Pull heart forward in space. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Inhale to the height of the toes. Left foot, left thumb, your journey, your practice. Can be a handstand hop. You can just bring it forward. Crescent lunge is where we arrive. Settle the torso down in space. Kind of feel the weight pouring into your legs. Open up here, just a gentle little goddess. Squat low. On this side, I will face you. We're just gliding into a skandasana, but see if you can kind of play with the depth of your knee going over your toes and then kind of surf to the other side. Just kind of play with the dimension kind of going back and forth. Maybe you start to kind of get a little bit lower. This is just about curiosity, nothing again about wrong or right. And then next time you find yourself surfing towards the top of the mat, go ahead and stay there. Windmill the hands down towards the ground. High stance pyramid pose on this side. Again, the aim is just to create a lightness. Height of the back toes is going to be very, very helpful. Inhale, heart forward in space. Exhale, press down, dome and round, slide back. Ripple forward into that plank pose. Take that full bend and extend. Drop the knees, drop the forearms. Look forward. Pull yourself forward. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Wonderful job. Let's create a little bit of rhythm with the breath and the movements. Starting with the right leg lifts up. Right foot, right pinky. 90-90 lunge. Rise up, hover the back knee. Extend through the back leg. Take your hands to heart center. Lean forward. Lift left leg, bent knee, warrior three. Drive left knee up into chest. Rise to a stand. Sit down like you're going to go into eagle pose with the legs, but you're not. It's a fake out. So you're kind of sliding down into almost like a Karate Kid. Drive left knee up into chest. And then crisscross. Take the left foot in front of the right and fold. Left foot is in front of the right. Hands find a space that's grounding underneath you, whether that's a little far forward or a little bit closer towards your toes. Kick your right leg, that's the leg behind you, up towards the sky, standing splits-ish. Just reach the right leg up very, very high. Left hand can come to your calf or your shin bone. Pull up to kind of come down. Right knee taps behind the left. One Shiva squat. Maybe you have your hands free. Back up into a standing split. Right toes to the back of the mat. Runner's lunge. Step the left leg back. Downward facing dog. Ripple forward, plank pose. One bend and extend. Lower knees, lower forearms. Cruise yourself forward. Try not to worry about it too much. Find yourself back into a downward facing dog. Reset. Vinyasas like that are always optional. And you can feel free to do it a little bit different than the way I'm suggesting. Inhale to the height of the toes again. The left leg can lift. Your journey. Left foot, left pinky, or left thumb. 90-90 lunge as we rise, right knee off of the floor. Feel the weight pouring into your legs. Then draw more attention to the back leg, extend at any degree, squeeze through the right glute. Drive through the back big toe. Beautiful. Thumbs come to heart center, lean forward, bent knee, warrior three, lift through the right inner thigh. Draw right knee into chest, come to a stand. Little fake out, eagle leg legs. Just kind of think about this idea of sliding down. Draw right knee up into chest. Crisscross right ankle on top of left, bow and fold. Hands plant somewhere onto the ground and extend the left leg up towards the sky. Right hand comes to the calf, pull up. Press down through your right foot and lift up from the left. Curtsy squat, left knee tucks behind the right, hold, maybe hover the hands. Back to our standing splits, kick the leg up, torso down, pull up to take your torso. Left toes towards the back of the mat, hands frame front foot. Glide yourself up and back, downward facing dog. Ripple forward, plank pose, one bend and extend. Lower knees, lower forearms, pull your heart forward. Press it on back, downward facing dog. Right leg lifts, take a big inhale. Exhale, right foot, right thumb. Maybe hop switch. Torso over top, sink, 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 sink. Extend back leg. Hands come to heart center, take an inhale. Exhale, warrior three with the bent leg. Inhale, rise up, left knee into nose. Exhale, fake out little curtsy seat. Inhale, left knee back into chest, press through the right leg. Exhale, bow and fold, fingertips reach. Hands find the ground, take an inhale, right leg towards the sky, standing splits. Exhale, curtsy squat here, right knee taps behind. Inhale, hands find the ground, stretch right toes towards the ceiling. Right toes back. Exhale, left foot steps back, downward facing dog. Inhale, ripple forward, plank pose, bend and extend. Exhale, lower knees, lower forearms, pull yourself forward, upward facing. Inhale, glides us back, downward facing dog. Exhale here to ground down. Inhale, left leg up. And exhale, your journey, left foot, left thumb. I keep wanting to say pinky. Shoulders over top of hips. Inhale, rise, sink low. Exhale, extend right hip, find back big toe. Inhale, thumbs to heart center, lean forward, shift the weight, lift right leg. Exhale, right knee into chest. Inhale, sit down, little curtsy squat. Exhale, right knee to chest. Inhale, crisscross right foot on top of left, bow forward. Exhale, plant the palms, left leg extends up towards the sky. Inhale, curtsy lunge, left knee behind the right, maybe hover the hands. Exhale, press it away. Left toes find the space behind you. Step your right foot all the way back, downward facing dog. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. Inhale, ripple forward, plank pose. Exhale, bend and extend at the elbows. Inhale, send sit bones back, child's pose. Exhale, pull forward, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Excellent job. Let's cruise that one more time. Right leg lifts, right foot, right thumb. Inhale, you rise, double bent knee lunge. Exhale, extend, find your back big toe. Inhale, thumbs to heart center, pull forward, bent knee, warrior three. Exhale, left knee to chest, to a stand. Inhale, little curtsy eagle, get a little bit deeper. Exhale, drive left knee to chest, press the ground away. Inhale, cross left leg on top of right, bow the arms. Exhale, right leg stretches up towards the sky. Inhale, right knee taps behind, Shiva squat. Exhale, power push, right leg goes up, all the way back, glide left leg back, downward facing. Inhale, ripple forward, plank pose. Exhale, bend and extend through the arms. Inhale, drop knees, drop forearms, look forward. Exhale, pull heart forward in space, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. You're doing great. On the left side, let's cruise. Left foot finds left thumb. Inhale, rise into a double bend knee lunge. Exhale, press and squeeze the back thigh. Inhale, thumbs find the sternum, lean forward, bent knee, warrior three. Exhale, drive right knee into chest to a stand. Inhale, little curtsy on top, right leg on left. Exhale, right knee into chest. Inhale, drop right knee in front of the left and bow. Exhale, plant the palms, left leg stretches up. Inhale, curtsy lunge, left knee behind the right, maybe float your hands. Get a little bit deeper. Exhale, plant the hands, step the left toes back, right leg follows, downward facing. Inhale, pulls us forward. Exhale, bend and extend super quick. Inhale, drop knees, forearms look forward. Exhale, pull heart forward in space. Glide it back, downward facing dog. Lower your forearms, dolphin pose. Have a moment. We've got about 8 to 10 breaths here. If dolphin is your jam and you want to stay here, please feel free to do so. If you want to work up Pincha Mayurasana forearm stand, also do so. Do so in a way that where we are at is where we are going to stay stable and connected. About halfway there, if you're doing one variation of something, so maybe switching sides. If you're upside down, come back through dolphin pose. Lower the knees. Glide your arms towards your toes, child's pose. Breathe in through the kidney band area. Breathe in through the low back. Connect your forehead to the floor. When you're ready, rise your shoulders over top of your hips. Rise your hips over top of your knees. Take your hands to your hips. Shift the weight into the left knee. Lean back and just step your right foot forward in space. See if you can create a lightness. Spin your left shin bone so it's kind of parallel to the back of the mat in kind of like a warrior two stance. Take your arms out wide. Squeeze your hands into tight little fists. Find a place of where you can get pretty stable with your right foot. Start to lean the weight and like squeegee your left leg together. Right knee is going to drive, and see if we can find a lightness into your left knee just to lower it back down towards the ground. And if you're like, Erin, I need a little bit of support, cool, do this, but keep the back arm reaching back and squeezing with the fist and kind of pull forward. See if you can find more engagement in through the right leg and then press back down. Now get forward, pull forward. Get into a depth that's very challenging. Pull right shoulder forward in space. Left shoulder pulls back, squeeze in the left hip. Lower it down. Great. Re-90-90 lunge. Lengthen the tailbone. Lean back, and we'll do the stirring of the pot with the right toes. So you can kind of look down the bridge of your heart and circle your right toes onto the floor. Just a balance challenge here. Find a lightness. And when you can maybe kind of sneak your right shin bone back to meet your left, cool. Shifting sides, left knee forward in space. And then we create that 90-90 lunge yet again. Pivot the back shin bone and start to lean the weight. Now here again, we want to think about this kind of leaning and this trust. And if you have not a lift, that's okay. Shifting the weight from the right knee to the left foot is kind of intense. It's like going down a big stair or up a big stair. That's a little bit out of your dimension. And we're just looking to see if we can find any kind of engagement around the hip. So shift the left leg forward. Again, have your block. Take your right arm back and fist, fist, fist. And kind of lean the weight and see what kind of lightness you could have. Now, some of you will be able to pick this leg up very quickly. Maybe think about lifting your right heel away from the floor. Okay, and if you're like, Erin, I can't even imagine that. Don't worry about it. I can't either right now. Press the weight through the left foot. Rise. And now maybe you want to change the position of your foot. Maybe that will help you. Lean, lift, engage, hold, hold. Pull left shoulder forward, right shoulder back in space. Kind of think of like a half moon, but a very interesting shape. Lower back down. Great. Back to a 90-90, and we're just going to stir the pot with the left foot. So kind of lean back, play with your balance. Allow the body to calibrate, allow the body to catch itself and mess up, quote unquote. And when you can kind of feel like surfing the left leg back to meet the right shin bone, then arrive in that space. Fantastic. Hands plant, downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg up. Handstand, or just bring your right foot to your right thumb. Setting ourselves up for warrior two. Back out, adjust your stance, widen. Feel the kind of space growing into your hips, and maybe you're getting more of a familiar depth. Can we soften our upper body to really kind of pull everything down in space? When you're ready, extend your arms. Lean the weight and keep pulling, 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 pulling. And before you kind of think, oh, I'm going into extended side angle, can you see if you can bring your right elbow towards the top of your right knee and then kind of drive it back? Now, if you're on the skin and you can't quite make it there, that's fine. I have really short femurs, so I win some things and I lose a lot. Okay, so we are always going to have something when anatomy comes into play. So take your knee onto your the top of your thigh and pull it back so that we can elongate and squeeze the left side body and elongate the right. And I just want you to aim for this, right? In a forward fold, I never thought I was going to ever get my forehead to my toes until somebody was like, hey, could you try? And each time I tried, I knew I had to soften something and engage something to kind of get there. And eventually one day I did. I don't do it every day, but some days, you know? So if you want to think about it and just keep holding, allow the right leg to talk to you. Great. Come back up. Keep the depth. Windmill, left hand plants down, all 10 toes towards the right. Reach right arm forward in space. And we can squeegee our way into a side plank onto the left. And that can look a lot of ways. Okay? I just want you to breathe in through the right side body and have that be your focus. Maybe it's opening up into a wild thing. Right foot back up at starting position. One slow, one big step. Maybe the right toe lands first. And we will open all the way back out into that extended side angle. And maybe you notice, whoa, there's a little bit more ease into that motion. Look down at the ground. Familiarize yourself. Move into Ardha Chandrasana half moon. Press through the right leg, lift through the left. The right hand can be on the block at a level 3. It can be free floating. We will move. You can take your palms to heart center. We're moving like we're jumping a hurdle with the left leg. So pull it out and around like we did in the beginning of class. Keep driving it. We'll eventually come all the way up to that fake out. Eagle, sit. Little fake out. Squeeze left ankle towards right when you arrive. Go out the same way you came in. Slow and steady gaze is on the floor. Awareness is into breath. Draw left knee into chest. Make a big expansive circle. If you have something to catch like the wall, allow yourself to touch base, but then release yourself back out. Back into an Ardha Chandrasana. Engage through the lifted leg. Lower the left knee down towards the ground. Extend through the right leg. Trikonasana triangle pose. Hip goes back. Stretch. Hands frame the front foot. Square it off. Spin on the ball of your back foot. Take one pyramid plug here, or bring the left leg forward, handstand hop or press. We'll travel through a vinyasa. We're all meeting in a downward facing dog. All right, left leg reaches up. Hop switch, or bring your left foot to your left thumb. That's where we arrive. Back into a warrior 2 when you get there. Left leg forward, right leg back in space. Maybe adjust to lengthen your stance and kind of feel the deep connection of your left hip growing deeper. Squeeze your back glute. Take your arms out and away. And now start to slide forward. Sometimes it's helpful to touch your right rib cage to kind of keep this engagement going. And we're going into that extended side angle here. So again, start to drive the knee, pull, knee, pull, knee, pull. Maybe the elbow comes to the knee, maybe not. Find your back foot and squeeze your back glute. We're really focusing, channeling on this engagement and the depth of the left hip. Just another 2 to 3 breaths. Can you find a different part of your left foot that you haven't really maybe drawn attention to? Maybe just like wiggle the toes, back it out, keep the depth. Lip through the abdominal wall. Press down through the foot. Rise up into a warrior 2. Bend. Right hand plants. We're going into that Vashisthasana onto the left. Again, just trying to find that breath and depth in through the left side body. Maybe opening up through the left hip after all that compression. It's kind of nice to flood and wash it. Moving back up in starting position. Left foot can lift. One big step, one fast, one slow. Maybe left toe lands down first. Right back into that extended side angle. Feel it wash. Traveling in from our extended side angle into our Ardha Chandrasana half moon. Lift, lift, lift. Maybe you take your block with you. Knowing that it's good to set up ourselves. So gaze at the ground, bring the awareness into the breath, increase your focus. Engage the top leg. This will help you. You can keep the left hand onto the block or start to bring your palms to heart center. Either way, stay close to the midline as we start to create this movement. Right leg tracks forward. Maybe it bends, maybe it extends. We're looking for that fake cop out to that eagle, making it pretty exaggerated, like you're hopping over a hurdle or hopping a fence. Once you arrive, slide right leg on top of left and press the right ankle bone into the left shin. Draw right knee back up into chest, reverse all of that. Play with your stability. Extend, reach, reach, reach. Move through the hip. I know this is challenging. If you fall out, just get right back in. You got this. Into an Ardha Chandrasana half moon. Lower right toes down towards the ground. Work our way to warrior two. Beautiful. Just a quick little Trikonasana triangle pose. Finding kind of more of this jutting of the right hip out. If you want to play with the side body practice that we did with extended side angle by squeezing the right side body to elongate the left, that could be helpful. It's a good place to try this here. Or just send the right arm back and feel that breath in space. Take one more breath. Hands plant. And you can do a pyramid plug here, or go for the handstand. And that can be this into a jump or a press. We're all meeting in downward facing dog when you are ready. Great. Lower the shin bones. Perfect. We started a little bit late, so hopefully it's okay. We'll run a couple of minutes late here today, but it is 1, so we'll probably end at about 1:10. We're going to get into a fun transition here regardless. Kind of want to tie some fun things together. So it's going to look like this. We'll come into a primal squat variation. So we're down onto the left shin bone. Right leg is forward in space. And we'll just kind of play with this rocking and rolling motion from the front to the back. Once we get here, we can shift the left knee, tucks behind the right, and have this little curtsy squat. We'll lower back down, come forward, curtsy squat. Maybe we start to kick the leg up and lower, okay? So let's just try this a few times. So right knee forward, get into the curtsy squat, kind of funnel into the core. Lean forward, tuck left knee behind the right just to start. Lower left shin bone, come back. This is a great thing to practice for our hips and to our connection into the earth. If you come forward, curtsy squat, hands plant, kick left leg up, right thigh stays close towards your chest. Lower back down into a primal squat, okay? So, right thigh stays close. Let's try this a couple of times. Play with the transfer of weight from our legs to our hands as the receiver. So come forward, kick, come forward, and kick. Great. Let's switch it out. So we'll take our left leg forward in space. Primal squat here. And just start to play with the movement. Rolling forward and back. Come forward, lift up, Shiva, curtsy squat, whatever it's called, a lot of different things. And you can keep playing with this. If you're ready, the left knee is going to stay, that's this leg, it's going to stay hugged to yourself as the back leg kicks straight up towards the sky. So, come forward, Shiva, kick, hands plant, hug, kick. Try not to lose that separation. Handstand, hug, kick, and lower. Excellent job. Wonderful. Downward facing dog. Your 10 count journey all the way to the top of the mat. That can be a handstand. That can be some more abduction, slice away. We've got a few more moments of effort left. So highs to the height of the toes. Bend the knees. Look forward for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Widen your feet for Malasana pose. Sink the sit bones down. You can take a block and place it underneath your hips. We have gotten a lot of hip compression. We are moving into creating a little bit of hip openness. If you haven't done this move with me yet, know that we do a lot of moving, a lot of shifting. I'll let the heels pop off, and we're moving from the right side towards the left side, and we're just gonna make these wild thing-like shapes. So from like a fun little dancing Malasana, we'll look over the left shoulder, left hand plants, big bridge through the heart, lift the heels, extend, bend and rehinge at the hips, come forward, press off. Right hand goes behind you, push, dome, lift. There's a heaviness into the left hand. Come back down. We'll go back to the left and to the right. Obviously, if you know circle wheel, you can go full circle wheel. We want to keep it moving quickly or slowly, depends on your body. But let the body drive, not the brain. So try not to think about it too much. Forget all of those silly, wild yoga terms that are keep the heels down, feet parallel, you'll hurt yourself. Let the body know it can drive and it's okay. Take 2 more towards the right and 2 more towards the left, which is now 1 more. Final. Excellent. Rise, sit down onto your sit bones. Bring your blocks with you. We'll do 2 stationary equal back bends. Okay, that means not a lot of moving, not a lot of fidgeting. This is the time for us to kind of find our 4 points. And that could be bridge pose or a Urdhvanurasana wheel pose. For bridge, if you want to rock out some supported bridge right now, placing the block underneath your hips, cool, this is a great thing to do. Just allow yourself to be here, focusing on pressing the shoulders down and the feet down, and follow my cues for that. If you want the active bridge and then move into a wheel, go for that journey. If you want to do a wheel pose, go right on in. Press the back of the triceps, rise through the hips, press through the feet. Press right tricep and left foot. Left tricep and right foot, create an X onto your back line. Bridge pose, stay here. We will do 1 more, but if you would like to pop up to a wheel pose, please feel free to do so. If you're in wheel, right hand presses, left foot presses, left hand presses, right foot. Lower down or stay up, it's up to you. Go right back in, try not to think about it too much. Wheel or Urdhvanurasana. One more breath. Find your way all the way down towards the ground. Great. Have a second here. You can come into Supta Baddha Konasana or your knees in towards one another. Just taking some neutralizing breaths. Okay. Take your block into your right thigh, your right elbow, and your hand comes to your head. Press your elbow into your block into your elbow, your knees driving. Send your left leg up towards the sky. Keep this curl and this connection of the core. Drive the knee into the elbow, keep that going in your main focus, and then maybe lower the left leg somewhat to a hover. Keep driving the right elbow. Pull the left leg back up towards center. Keep that focus onto your block, and then lower it back down. We have 4 more, pulling it up. Keep driving that curl, and then lower it down. Inhale, pulling it up. Exhale, lowering it down. 2 more, pulling it up. Exhale, lowering it down. 1 more, pulling it up. Exhale, lowering it down. Take the block into your hands. Ardha Navasana block can go up in front of you, behind you. Just hold. Legs up, arms up, head down towards the ground. Block is still in between your hands. Have a second to reset and calibrate. As you switch sides, governing all the strength, take the block to the left thigh, left elbow to knee, knee into the block. Put your forehead into your hand. This is ideal. Squeeze and press your low back into the floor. Lower the right foot down, maybe to hover, and then pull it back up. We have 4 more. Keep pressing and connecting, and pull it back up. Last moments of effort here. You have this. Lower it down. Squeeze the right glute. Lift it back up. Final 2. Lower it down. Squeeze. And then lift it back up. Final 1. Lower it down. And to lift it back up. Take the block into your hands. Press your head down onto the floor just for a small beat. Take the block off to the side. Hands come to the back of your head. Elbow tips out wide. Slow bicycles here towards the right and towards the left. This is it. You have it. Keep going. Draw elbow to the knee rather than the knee towards the elbow. It's quite challenging that way. So if you need a little bit of reward by pulling the knee in, go for it. But just keep that idea growing in space. We're here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fabulous. Lower your feet down towards the ground. Do a little like pop up off the chest off to the floor. Create space. Open. We did a lot of hip stuff today, so I'm actually going to skip hips and come into more of a constructive way for our hip flexors. So with my blocks, I'm going to create a little V-like shape, and I'm going to place them underneath my hips so that when I work towards extending my legs, that the back of my butt and my thighs is being supported. And I have more of an opening here that is refreshing. And I don't feel too unsupported by my lower back. So adjust it so that you can seek something like that similar. And I think we're just going to end class here. So as we arrive, if you need anything else, feel free to do it. We will move the blocks here in a second, but let's just start to scan the body as we start to feel how supported we are in this space and shape. If you would like to stay here on your blocks or your shavasana, please feel free to do so. We will take a moment or two of rest here together as a collective, and I will let you know when that time is up. So please try to offer yourself this just for a few more minutes longer. As a collective consciousness, let's exhale the breath out of the system. Take a big inhale. Gently pause and hold the breath. Exhale, sigh it out, release. Allowing your system and your body to just be. Gently start to bring sensation back into your vessel, inviting your ears to open up just a little bit. Start to reach for any surrounding sounds that are soft and faint and far away. To wiggle your fingertips and your toes, maybe stretching your body in different directions. If you're still on your blocks, remove yourself from your blocks without disturbing the body too much. In your time and your fashion, rolling to one side. And in all time, everybody making their way up to a comfortable seat. Gently bringing your palms to heart center, pressing the heel of the hand and your finger pads, leaving this little basket of space in between your palms. Let this basket of space be anything that you would like to either hold in high regard or even just the concept of space. I think is something that we could all use a little bit more of. Just space. Space for curiosity, space for breath, space for growth, space for observation, space for love, compassion, swelling feelings of gratitude swarms to me as I think about all of you that showed up for your practice here today. So thank you so much for all of that. As we bow our head in reverence to the practice and to all of those that have practiced this for centuries before us, to brought us to the here and the now, the Ata, I bow to you and to everyone here today. Until next time, friends, be well. All righty. Hello, everybody. Let's see. Thank you, everybody, for showing up on the YouTube and for showing up here on the app. I don't know how well we can communicate on the app, but thank you, Miko. While I have you all here, next week's class will be canceled. I am traveling to Charleston to do a series of workshops at the Aloha Studio. So if you are in and around that area, please feel free to join. That's going to be April 1st and 2nd. So we'll have to thanks, Allison. We'll have to reassess for the following week, see if I can manage YouTube. I think that it was a kind of a flop, but that's okay. Oh, great, Christina. Excellent. Glad you liked it. I don't know who was asking for the circle wheel class from the 300 hour. I forget, but if you're here, I will do the circle wheel. So we will definitely do that. I think maybe we'll do it after I get back. Julie? Oh, wait, that's awesome, Julie. Fantastic. Glad you liked that. Got your hops and your floats. You're just so strong. Sometimes it's just all about connecting the dots. It really is. Well, very cool. I'm so happy to have you all here. Great. Yeah. Everybody have a wonderful week. Let me know if you need anything. Reach out if you have any questions. I'm happy to help. I'm happy to assist. Again, we'll return with our Sunday flow session somehow, some way. here in the future. Please reach out on Instagram if you have any questions or through email. And with that being said, we'll see you next time.